I was gobsmacked. It was enormous. The devil's bulldozer just massacring the coastline. Everything was wrong. A massive, massive river running through the villages. I was watching television. I saw the tsunami unfold its venom, mainly in Thailand. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Everything that I could remember, just in a mess. Literally thousands of people running or grouped in mass in the dark up on top of high ground. I said, right, I'm going to do something. The following day I phoned Thailand and asked what could I do to help. Wired money to a post office in Phuket. They cashed it and went and bought I think about 3 pallet loads of water. And that was my start. There was literally thousands of families completely lost, and it probably took about a year and a half for families to level down and find out where their families were. During that period, there were children who didn't necessarily have paperwork, who were living in fear in the jungle, and that's when the penny really dropped. If you could imagine a polytunnel cut into 3, running parallel, literally 3 little curves, and maybe up to 150 children living in these. No toilet, no electric. They couldn't get any help from the state, and they didn't have any parental help. So they were very, very, very vulnerable. They were fearful of another tsunami. They were fearful of the authorities. There was no family, there was nothing. And in Thailand, if you don't have paperwork, you're not known, you're not recognized. So those were the people I concentrated on helping. I honestly thought after a year, I would say, right, this'll do, you know, I've done enough, this'll do. But if I stop doing what I'm doing, they're going to, everything stops. I devoted my life to making sure that I could help these children. With an education, you've got a chance. Without an education in Thailand, you have no chance. What we had to do is make sure the children carried on at school. If an orphan wanted to go to school, there was no way. So that's when I stepped in and formed Willies Orphan Fund. Up until probably the first year and a half, I just worked off my own bat, doing everything I could do. I was a real pain in the bottom to literally thousands of people in Northern Ireland. If it was a birthday or a wedding party or a golfing party, I got invited and I went round with my bucket. Apart from setting fire to myself, I don't think there's anything I haven't really done to raise funds. And I raised cash, and I went out to Thailand with the cash literally in my pocket. I just focused in on the education. When they eventually got the orphanage built, it was just like, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable, it was incredible. They actually had a bed, and they had a wee locker. The children get up in the morning, not long after daylight, and they all have their breakfast together. They get themselves dressed up and they get themselves ready for school. They sing on their way to school in a converted cattle truck. They don't mind, they love it. And after school lessons, they go to an after school learning centre. And then they come home to the orphanage, and it isn't over yet. Then they do their chores, because we have a paddy field. There's over 500 children has gone through that I would be aware of, but there's a nucleus of children that have remained. They were only little babies when the tsunami hit. We also now have an increase in orphans, even now. And the reason being is some of the children who lost their parents were looked after them by Granny and Granda, or an aunt, or a distant relation. And either that aunt or Granny or Granda or relation has passed away, or haven't been able to afford to keep the children. We now have children coming to us, 14, 15, without anything. We actually have the first child through, when the tsunami struck, he was on his last year of secondary school, and he was going to give up. But we found him, and we got him back into secondary school. He did a double year at secondary school and got all his exams for university. We got him into university. He got his electrical engineering certificate, and he got a job then with a hotel chain. His first week in the hotel, he fell in love with a receptionist, and they got married, and they have a child. So it's what a success story. Without the help of the people of the province of Northern Ireland and further afield, none of this would have been possible. You know, it's something special, it really is. Oh yeah, you're going to get me crying now. Yeah, I wanted them all home. Yeah, I still would.